Ruminating about a first trip with my Papa Gillespie to Hollywood and or Los Angeles. Today is Saturday, 13 June 2026, and here I, Tanis, she, her, hers of Seattle, ruminate about a first trip with my Papa Gillespie to Hollywood and or Los Angeles, reflecting on my experience visiting each location as part of a road trip I went on in July 2018 when I was living in Albany, California. Yes, so my last time to each of these locations was in July 2018. And I was thinking through, if I am adopted, I am adopted. So for those who if I am adopted and you've known my whole life. Okay, so for them, I am adopted. For me, if I am adopted. And my Papa Gillespie, my Papa Craig Gillespie, and I are, well, maybe not making up for last time, but integrating our lives to be present in each other's. And so my Papa Gillespie is a big Hollywood director, a big guy in Hollywood. So he's like, why don't you, I'm going to take my daughter to work. So we might go to Hollywood and or Los Angeles, and we might go to Hollywood and or Los Angeles a lot, depending on what our lives are like and how included, especially like if we're living together and I can include him daily on what I do. Or then how often do we go to Hollywood and or Los Angeles? And so I was like, okay, so especially if this becomes a high frequency, what about a first trip? I was like, I liked the kind of going through approach from the road trip I went on. I don't know. It would be cool in the sense of perhaps more equal grounding than since he might already be really familiar with Hollywood and or Los Angeles. I don't quite get as steamrollered as if I go along on a business trip. So kind of making it about family and us going, and maybe putting our foot forward on taste and finding our taste together. That'd be really cool. That'd be very mature. It kind of has that ooh, kind of uncomfortable thing, but sometimes being uncomfortable is being on one's learning edge. And so I was like, well, maybe that, I don't know. Do we take videos? That kind of thing. Do we go to a red carpet? I think so. This would be I have a life and he has a life, and our lives collide. I think a red carpet might be a rather high ticket item, so to speak, for a first time. But that's just, it's a ruminating. So this is ruminating. And then with Supergirl coming out later, they're scheduled to be released later this month, 26 June 2026 AD. Here's some of my ruminating in relation to that my Papa Gillespie wanted in on, so to speak. So he, my Jason Momoa, gets horny when people search, is Jason Momoa in Supergirl? Okay. What's horny? Very frisky, like a squirrel. They like to wrestle. For real, they're little wrestlers. Okay, my Papa Gillespie just about scared the living daylights out of my Jacob Elordi when he said he'd seen a recording of us together. Jacob Elordi is a big guy. Then Papa Gillespie got a Jacob Elordi ad to play when I was watching YouTube. I didn't watch it all the way through either time. And so my Papa Gillespie said, don't want to talk about it yet? Question mark. I had the question mark, so I know it's a question. He followed up with, I find you in Austin Butler too. Me says, what about Elvis the original? He says, I like your mom's pick. Stick with Michael Jackson. To which I say, I lose 9 times out of 10 or with his new look, Michael Jackson. I can't keep pace with him. Papa Gillespie says, at least you knew on your birthday who won. Start working on your finesse. The only concern my Papa Gillespie has with my Elordi is what happens when the camera stops recording. Though he points out that for me, nature wouldn't give me anything I couldn't handle. We tell each other that. Nature wouldn't give us is something we couldn't handle. Yeah. Now Papa Gillespie has something to ask me. He wants to know how sweet loving between me and my Jared Leto goes when my Jared Leto dresses as the Joker and speaks as Aries and Sean Aries. Joker face and Aries voice. I say I am Tan Frito. Fine. How it goes. Is he frisky? Is he frisky like Jason Momoa? Papa Gillespie, the parents each of my Jacob Elordi and my Jared Leto, insist their children, their child, Jacob Elordi is a gentleman. Me, I get to say about my own life, ooh, who do I look better with on the red carpet? Don't forget Momoa and Austin Butler. I brought up some others too, but like of the pool who are per online information that I can see alive, that's, you know, we got Jacob Elordi, Jared Leto, Jason Momoa, and Austin Butler. But do we see any of them on our first trip to Hollywood and or Los Angeles? Do we see any famous people? Yeah, we see each other. Ah, if nothing else. That's a good one, I think. Okay. Anyway, that's ruminating about a first trip with my Papa Gillespie to Hollywood and or Los Angeles.